In this video, we'll learn how to adjust Illustrator display settings for small-scale designs. I've got the file hideedgesdemo.ai open from this week's demo files. And here I've got the start of my design for an emoji. My file is only 1 inch by 1 inch, and since I'm working towards such a small-scale design, I'm making sure to zoom out often so I can see whether or not the important parts of my design are clearly visible. For purposes of clarity in this demo, I won't zoom out quite as far as I would if it were just me editing, but all the same principles will still apply. My problem is, when I zoom out with artwork selected, Illustrator's controls get in the way and stop me from seeing what my design actually looks like. Right now I can see it's the bounding box surrounding this shape that's preventing me from actually seeing it zoomed out. Let's turn off the bounding box by clicking View, Hide Bounding Box in the menu bar. I could also use the keyboard shortcut of Command-Shift-B or Control-Shift-B. Now when I zoom out, it's a little bit more visible, but I can see I've got some other artwork elements highlighted. These are the edges of the artwork, so the path segments and the anchor points. And these are highlighted by default when we don't have the bounding box active. So I can hide those by clicking View, Hide Edges in the menu bar, or hitting Command-H or Control-H on the keyboard. Now I can clearly see my artwork with the edges and the bounding box hidden. Even though I don't see those controls in the document window anymore, that shape I'm working with is still selected. If I look in the Layers panel, I can see that it's targeted. And if I click and drag with my selection tool, I can still move it around or apply other edits. We also have the option of using the arrow keys on the keyboard to nudge selected artwork side to side or up or down if you have trouble using the mouse at that scale. So this allows me to edit more easily and see how those changes will resolve visually at a small scale. The last thing I'm noticing here are the edges of the artboard. And because I'm trying to make sure that I emphasize all the important details in my very small scale design, I'm trying to take my artwork right up to the edge of that artboard and not leave any margin. But when I zoom out, it becomes very hard to distinguish between the edges of the artboard and the artwork itself. Like I can see here, those small gaps are just kind of blurring together. I can hide those artboard edges by clicking View, Hide Artboards in the menu bar, or hitting Command-Shift-H or Control-Shift-H on the keyboard. Now I can zoom out and see just my artwork, which makes it so much easier to tell which parts come through at small scale and which parts might still need some attention. Okay, that's an overview of how to adjust Illustrator display settings for small scale designs.